Well, the top of the morning to you all, and welcome back to 97.7 FM KC Radio on an hour of power and leadership with me, Ryan Gomez. It's an absolute privilege and a plum-pleasing pleasure to be here speaking to you on 97.7 FM KC Radio for an hour of power and leadership with me, Ryan Gomez, once again. Well, it's an absolute honor, like I always say, and it's great to have your company here on 97.7 FM KC Radio. We keep your feedback coming in and keep sending us messages as much as you can. I know I endeavor to get to the messages, and sometimes it's impossible with the amount of messages and emails you get. But you keep the feedback coming in, and that's the most important thing. If you want to jump on my Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Ryan Gomez Coaching, that is. So once again, it's www.facebook.com/Ryan Gomez Coaching. And also you can jump on, we're streaming live on the web, that is www.kcradio.com.au, that is www.kcradio.com.au. And my website, if you want to jump on my website and download a podcast, which is www.ryan-gomez.com. There you have it. You tune into 97.7 FM KC Radio on an hour of power and leadership. We're also having some fun here. I'm trying to do a bit of a Facebook live feed here as well, so I'm not sure if people can watch me out there. You can jump on my Facebook page and you can see the live feed that's happening, which is on my Facebook page, which is Ryan Gomez. And yeah, so give us a like, leave us a comment, and I'm happy to say a cherry or a hi on 97.7 FM. That is. So whoever's watching, it's great to have your company. And like I said, we have I do this on Saturdays. I do endeavor to get a special guest on the program, which I do every Saturday. And here after about 8:30 this morning, we're going to have a special guest again, a good friend and a really inspirational person, and I'm doing a lot with her business as well. Michelle Bruti, we're going to be speaking to Michelle Bruti. She's a registered immigration practitioner, business owner at Reliable Immigration Services. And Michelle is also one of our coaches, let's put it this way, personal development coaches, and helping out with ledcoaching.net. So you want more information on that, you can get on that website, which is www.ledcoaching.net. So it's great to be here once again. I know last Saturday we didn't run the segment, but we had some recordings happening and things like that. But like I said, keep your feedback coming in. That's the absolute key, and this is what we encourage: is send the feedback in. And Lord, what I do on this program, and I say it time and time again, what I do on this program does not reflect the views and ideas of you, our listeners. It's purely my views, my ideas. And a lot of it, as I say, I go back to basics, simple basics about, and endeavor to get a lot of coaches, personal development coaches, business coaches, life coaches, people achieve some great success in their businesses and in their careers, as a matter of fact, who can give us a few pointers. And if you're listening in, you feel there's a nugget or two you can take and run with it and use it in your business, use it in your career, use it in your life. Go for it, and that is the absolute key. That is the absolute key. If I want to kick off, I always kick off the segment with a bit of a story, and the story I was thinking about driving in the car. I was driving along. I was, there's this marine biologist, which is he's or a scientist, if I can just put it straight and simple and play blunt and simple, if I can put it that way. Is a scientist was involved with an experiment with a shark, and he placed that shark in a big tank with all other small bait fish. Now, as expected, what would the shark do? You guessed it right. The shark went and ate the bait fish, and every single fish. Now, the marine biologist did the same thing. He did the same experiment. Then he put some more bait fish in there. And what did the shark do? Go for all the bait fish and eat all the bait fish there. So what this scientist did then was put a clear fiberglass insert into the tank. So a clear fiberglass insert into the tank. So there was a partition between the shark, and there was a partition between the small fish, to see what would happen So what did the shark do? And then he put some bait fish on the other side. It did the same thing. The shark constantly kept attacking, trying to get to the bait fish. And every time it did that, it hit the fiberglass, in between, the partition in between, and it kept bouncing back. And the shark didn't stop trying, kept on constantly trying to do this. Until such time the shark had, given up after about an hour, hour and a half, after trying constantly. It had given up, but then would wait for a little while, again attack. And this constantly kept happening over the next, couple of hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, until it finally just gave up. And it knew there's nothing it can do to get to that bait fish. So after several days, what the scientist did was take out the clear glass between the shark and the bait fish. And what did the shark do? The shark just kept circling in its area, in its zone, if I can put it that way, and did not attack the bait fish. And the bait fish remained in their area. Now, here was an opportunity for the shark to attack the bait fish and have a meal, but the shark did not attack. Even though it removed the fiberglass from the insert from the thing, the shark did not attack. And it started training its mind to believe that there is a barrier between the bait fish and the shark. And it started gaining those limiting beliefs, if I can put it that way. Now, why I talk about this is there's always a message behind this. Is many of us experience setbacks in life and failures in life. Emotionally we give up. We try something, we start to get ahead, we bump into a few obstacles, and then what we do is we don't keep trying and trying. We sort of give up. A lot of us do give up at that stage. Hey, you know what's never going to work. It's not going to work. And we start building those barriers. We start building this mental barrier between us and our goal and what we need to achieve. Because we start saying, hey, you know what? We've tried this. We've tried it several times. It doesn't work. Pretty much like the shark. Now, and a lot of us grow up with these limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs as we grow up thinking, hey, you know what? It's never going to work. Something's never going to work. And we always look at the past failures and believe that and that is what, even if we put our hand to it, and we're never going to achieve that success. We build these barriers in our head. We build these barriers in our mind. Even when there's no real barrier. So, where do we want to go, and where do we want to end up at any given time is what, at the end of the day, is what you need to believe is the greatest things, or the greatest successful people out there who achieve some great success out there, are constantly not just hammering against those barriers, but knocking those barriers down and creating that pathway to get to their success. They constantly keep bumping against barriers. I mean, you're going to get that inevitably when you try something new. You know what? The biggest challenge you have is not people telling you that you can't achieve it. The biggest challenge you have is the challenge within yourself. The weakest link, if I can put it that way, the weakest link is yourself. It's not out there. It's not in society. It's not people. It's yourself. We are our weakest link, because we keep creating these barriers in our mind that, hey, you know what? It's too hard. And your mind is designed a lot of times, and scientific research has shown that your mind is designed to protect you a lot of times. It's designed to protect you. So when it sees a challenge, what does your mind do? Say, hey, stop, Brian. Oh, stop. Let's think about this before you do this. You could get hurt. And it's designed to protect you from avoiding getting hurt constantly. So you need to break those barriers. You need to break those limiting beliefs and start moving forward in order to achieve what you want in life. And ultimately, if you want to achieve something, you've got to go through those obstacles. Doing what I'm doing right now is probably the most challenging thing and the toughest thing what I'm doing right now. At this point in time, I'll tell you what I'm doing right in the studio is I've got things happening live. So I'm streaming around the globe live on www.kcradio.com.au. While I'm doing that, I'm thinking about my content, about what I have to say on radio. It's tough. It's really tough. While I have to keep playing with the panel to be able to put or to be able to have the right channel going to the right feeds here, I've got about 50 odd controls in front of me here. If I push the wrong control while I'm saying what I'm saying here on radio, things are going to stuff up. But hey, you know what? It's a challenge, but we need to break those barriers in our head. And we need to get over those challenges and get over those obstacles by keep constantly pursuing what we want in life. I talk about the same. I'm blunt about. I talk about the making things simple, and that is always been my motto. Is keep things simple. So, in saying that, think about where you want to be 5 years from now. Think about where you want to be 10 years from now, and start moving forward. Start making those decisions in life on where you want to do. Ultimately, start sharpening your mental axe, and I talk about sharpening your mental axe all the time. Start working on yourself, instilling in yourself that confidence and that self-esteem, and building that belief in yourself to be able to move forward and achieve what you want. As much as I can talk about this, it's about you taking action. It's about you taking action and doing this. You tune into 97.7 FM KC Radio, an hour of power and leadership with me, Ryan Gomez. It's an absolute privilege and a pleasure speaking to you on this Saturday morning, and we're doing something different as well. So again, I'm challenging myself. I'm doing a bit of a live feed happening. I've got a few people that are watching live on Facebook. I've got a few people. So Dave is watching. That's fantastic. Dave, a cheerio to you, and have a great day. Let's go to a short break, and we'll be right back after this. You tune into 97.7 FM KC Radio, an hour of power and leadership with me, Ryan Gomez. Actually, let's go to a track. Something I was playing